Welcome back, and thank you for joining us on our fourth episode of the PharmD Diaries. I'm Angelica.
I'm Alexis.
I'm Matthew.
And I'm Hortensia.
And this is part one of our three-part journey through pharmacy student organizations.
A big reason we wanted to do this topic was not only because of the great resources each organization can provide for students while at school, but because of the different avenues in pharmacy that these organizations can lead to after graduation. I personally was not familiar with the different specialties in pharmacy you can go into. For example, there's ambulatory care, infectious diseases, psychiatric pharmacy, and even pediatric pharmacy.
So although there may be some opportunities on IPI or API rotations to learn about different specialties, pharmacy student organizations is probably one of the best ways to explore these different avenues of pharmacy. Joining an organization while in pharmacy school can help gain professional and leadership development, networking, community outreach, advocacy and awareness, and unique educational resources that you may not get in the classroom.
So please join us as we give a brief description of each of these pharmacy student organizations, the resources they provide to their members, and some of the activities they hold throughout the year.
As a disclaimer, we are covering organizations at our school, UNT-HSC, with an emphasis on the more national and well-known organizations. Your school, county, or state may have their own unique organizations. First, I'll start out with the Student National Pharmaceutical Association, or SNAPA, and this organization focuses on addressing healthcare disparities by serving the underserved communities and promoting diversity and inclusion within the pharmacy profession. They also offer leadership development opportunities, mentorship programs, and networking events to support the academic and professional growth of its members. Through its initiatives and partnerships, SNAFA strives to empower pharmacy students to make a positive impact on the health and well-being of communities in need. This past Christmas, our local SNAFA chapter partnered with our local pediatric pharmacy chapter to offer support, resources, and serve the local children and families affected by sickle cell disease at their annual Christmas party.
The American Association of Pharmaceutical Scientists, or AAPS. AAPS is a professional scientific organization of approximately 7,000 individuals who are members and over 10,000 actively participating stakeholders who may be employed in academia, industry, the government, and other pharmaceutical science-related research. Their core values are learning, innovation, service, inclusiveness, and integrity. According to the national website, they do have a 2024 Summer Scientific Forum that is coming up in Kansas City, Missouri.
The National Association of Chain Drugstores, or NACDS, is a national organization that represents large drugstores and supermarkets. As per their website, their mission is to advance a pro-patient and pro-pharmacy agenda. They want to advance the interests and objectives of the chain community pharmacy industry by fostering its growth and promoting its role as a provider of healthcare services and consumer products.
The American Society of Health System Pharmacists, or ASHP, represents pharmacists who practice in hospitals, acute, and ambulatory care settings. Their mission is to improve patient care and advance pharmacy practice with policies that support the role of pharmacists in healthcare delivery, medication safety, interprofessional collaboration, and optimal medication use. Also, ASHP publishes research and practice guidelines to help pharmacists stay up to date in pharmacy practice and contribute to evidence-based patient care. The student subsection of ASHP, called SSHP, provides students a wide range of services, including continuing education through internships and residency prep, professional development, scholarship opportunities, and conference registration discounts. Our school's SSHP chapter holds an annual etiquette and professional protocol dinner that allows third-year students to refine their social and professional skills so they're able to conduct themselves appropriately in formal dining situations.
The National Community Pharmacists Association, or NCPA. So NCPA focuses on promoting and innovating the field of community pharmacy. NCPA allows its members to experience a diverse perspective of community pharmacy and explore innovative possibilities in the field of pharmacy. So this specifically is for community pharmacy. NCPA's national website offers a congressional pharmacy fly-in where it stated that students can join pharmacy owner and peers for meetings with lawmakers and their staff to affect change in the community pharmacy legislation. They offer a guide to implementing point-of-care testing services in the community. NCPA also offers live one-hour webinars to discuss topical information for pharmacists and pharmacy owners. When I looked on their website, it showed that they actually had 3 coming up this month. So I think they kind of post them on a rolling basis of when those webinars are offered. And NCPA offers a 13-month executive residency program, which is in Alexandria, Virginia. This prepares a PharmD for a career in association management or in independent pharmacy.
The American College of Clinical Pharmacy is an organization that promotes education and leadership by supporting clinical pharmacists in their practice. On our campus, we have an organization called the Student College Clinical Pharmacy that basically adopts the same principles of ACCP. They are a very active organization on campus and host events that promote advancing clinical knowledge, such as the Clinical Research Challenge.
The National Association of Specialty Pharmacy, NASP, also known as SASP for its student chapter. They are dedicated to advancing the specialty pharmacy industry. Specialty pharmacy refers to the management and dispensing of medications that treat rare or complex medical conditions like autoimmune and genetic disorders, HIV, AIDS, and hepatitis. The student chapter program offers their members educational sessions, specialized workshops, hands-on leadership opportunities, and discounted registration for their annual meetings. Overall, NASP serves as a resource for professionals in the pharmacy industry and focuses on promoting best practices to improve patient outcomes and support the development of practitioners.
The Academy of Managed Care Pharmacy, or AMCP, is dedicated to advancing the practice of managed care pharmacy. In managed care, pharmacists have the opportunity to apply their evidence-based clinical and economic knowledge in outcomes research, formulary management, and containing healthcare costs and patient education. Benefits of being a student member in AMCP includes potential internships, educational newsletters, a subscription to the Journal of Managed Care Pharmacy, discounted rates to conferences, and several opportunities to take part in postgrad preparations. Our local chapter partners with ISPOR for the Research Roundtable, which Alexis will talk about in a sec.
Next is the International Society for Pharmacoeconomics and Outcomes Research, or ISPOR. The mission of ISPOR is to provide an environment where students can share knowledge in pharmacoeconomics and health outcomes research. ISPOR also serves as a bridge in bringing together students interested in pharmacoeconomics and members of the pharmaceutical industry, health-related organizations, and academia. ISPOR normally partners with other research and industry-based orgs on our campus, and they tend to bring forth events such as the Research Roundtable, where I know in the past I have not gone per se, but from hearing other people's experience or my classmates' experiences, they found it really helpful because in this roundtable, they have multiple fellows or medical affair liaisons, etc., who come from industry pharmacy or people who look at the pharmacoeconomics side of pharmacy, and they share their experiences, how they got to where they are, and just like it's a great networking tool for most of them, because pharmacy is a really small world. So getting to know people who may be at the company that you want to work for or research the type of pharmacoeconomics that you may be interested in, it's really good to get that networking with the people who come to the roundtables.
The American Society of Consultant Pharmacy, or ASCP, is a nonprofit international association that focuses on increasing knowledge and managing medications for the elderly. Their goal is to empower pharmacists to promote healthy aging by providing resources and education. We do have a chapter on campus, and they are frequently providing volunteer opportunities and bringing in experts in the field to discuss their work.
The Industry Pharmacists Organization, IPHO, and this organization is dedicated to advancing the role of pharmacists in the pharmaceutical industry. They aim to bridge the gap between academia and industry, offering insights in various career paths within the pharmaceutical sector, including drug development, regulatory affairs, medical affairs, marketing, and clinical research. IPHO also provides guidance and support to members throughout their career journey, helping them navigate the job search process, development industry-specific skills, and staying informed about industry trends and opportunities. Through its initiatives and partnerships, IPHO strives to empower pharmacists to thrive in diverse roles within the pharmaceutical industry and contribute to advancing healthcare innovation and patient care. Recently, they had a meeting in which 3 current P4s, Elise Bill, Rachel Clark, and Haley McKeefer, discussed their time frame in applying for fellowships and their success in obtaining offers from a company. This was very helpful in laying out a general idea of how to go about applying if we wanted to go this route.
The Pediatric Pharmacy Association, or PPA, serves as a resource for pharmacists, pharmacy students and technicians, and other healthcare professionals dedicated to advancing the practice of pediatric pharmacy. Their focus is to promote safe and effective medication use in children through pediatric-specific education, research, and advocacy. Through its activities and collaborations, PPA strives to improve medication safety, optimize therapeutic outcomes, and enhance the quality of care in children. Members are provided continuing education, resources like access to the Journal of Pediatric Pharmacology and Therapeutics, and networking opportunities through conferences, committees, and special interest groups. Our school's chapter of PPA held its annual Angel Tree Project with the Salvation Army in December, where we were able to sponsor a record 50 children. It felt great to fulfill the kids' holiday wishes and alleviate some of the financial burdens for their families during the holiday season.
Next is AAPP. So AAPP's mission is working toward a world where all individuals living with mental illness receive safe, appropriate, and effective treatment. AAPP stands for the American Association of Psychiatric Pharmacists. This organization holds a special place in my heart, as this is a special niche in pharmacy that I have fallen in love with and has just played an impact in my life, even before pharmacy school. Our meetings normally look kind of like other niche pharmacy organizations on campus. So we normally have a board-certified psychiatric pharmacist talk with us about their experiences, how they got to be a BCPP, kind of like their residency journey, things they may have done in pharmacy school to help them get to where they are, and then what exactly they do as a board-certified psychiatric pharmacist. So as a BCPP, you can still have other avenues that you go to. We had some psychiatric pharmacists talk to us from the University of Colorado who are children's psychiatric pharmacists. We have some PTSD pharmacists, and we also have some who work at JPS, which is the community hospital here in Fort Worth, and they do inpatient and outpatient pharmacy settings with their patients. So there's kind of a whole array of things that you can do even within this special niche.
The Infectious Disease Interest Group, also known as IDIG on campus, is an organization that is primarily managed by pharmacy students, but membership is open to all schools like TCOM and public health. Their focus is on infectious diseases and how interprofessional collaboration can be used to improve health outcomes and manage antimicrobial stewardship. Events the group has hosted before include immunization clinics and collaborating with the AIDS Outreach Center to provide HIV testing.
The National Community Oncology Dispensing Association, or NCODA. This org is dedicated to advancing the quality and accessibility of treatment provided in patients with cancer. NCODA allows pharmacists, healthcare providers, and industry professionals to collaborate by addressing challenges and optimizing the delivery in oncology practice. Additionally, they work to address challenges related to reimbursement, access to medications, and the integration of new technologies and treatments. NCODA members have access to a vast library of resources, including oral and IV chemotherapy education, publications like Oncolytics Today, and complementary continuing education opportunities. Our local NCODA chapter puts on an event called Raise a Glass to Cancer that invites all organizations to be a part of, where participants can enjoy mocktails while learning about the different types of cancers. This provides an opportunity to raise awareness and funds for cancer research initiatives, providing assistance to cancer patients and their families, or advocating for cancer prevention and early detection efforts.
The American College of Veterinary Pharmacists, or ACVP, focuses on supporting independent pharmacists who specialize in areas like compounding medications for animals, providing pharmaceutical care to veterinary patients, and ensuring that there is safe and effective medication use in veterinary practice. Becoming a student member is a great way to learn more about veterinary health care and offers benefits such as discounts on compounding training courses, conferences, and seminars. Every year, our local ACVP puts on the Don't Forget to Feed Me event with Pet Food Bank to help supply pet food for those in need during challenging financial times so owners don't have to choose between feeding themselves or their pets.
The Asian Pharmacists Association, or APA. APA aims to grow the profession of pharmacy through the unity of many cultures and backgrounds in service to the community focused on those of Asian descent. APA's mission pertains to service, leadership, and diversity. APA provides an avenue for pharmacy students interested in advocating for Asian Americans, experiencing Asian culture, and promoting Asian awareness events. APA provides research opportunities, philanthropy events, service learning, and collaboration opportunities with other organizations, for example, their hand-in-hand event. In the past, APA has organized and fundraised care packages to give others the opportunity to experience Asian snacks.
The Black Professional Pharmacy Association, or BPPA, is dedicated to supporting and empowering Black pharmacists, pharmacy students, and other healthcare professionals within the field of pharmacy. They seek to raise awareness about healthcare disparities affecting Black communities and offer networking opportunities, mentorship programs, and educational resources to its members. Overall, BPPA serves as a way for Black pharmacy professionals to connect, collaborate, and make a positive impact on marginalized communities. So, with Black History Month being this past month, our school's BPPA held a BPPA week, which was just a fun week full of activities and events. There was a career day at a local high school, a residency panel, and a trip to the African American Museum of Dallas. So, it was a great week in demonstrating Black excellence.
The National Hispanic Pharmacists Association, or NHPA, was recently established in 2018 and is managed by the larger organization known as the National Hispanic Health Foundation. The goal of the NHPA is to be the leading voice in pharmacy that promotes Hispanic pharmacists so that they are able to provide high-quality service in underserved Hispanic populations. We do have an NHPA chapter on HSC's campus, and they provide volunteer opportunities and educational experiences, such as leading the Latinos in Medicina event that takes place during the summer.
Christian Pharmacist Fellowship International, or CPFI, is a global professional organization that brings together pharmacists, pharmacy students, and other healthcare professionals who share a Christian faith by providing opportunities for spiritual growth through prayer, Bible study, fellowship, and service. Overall, they seek to inspire pharmacists to serve with excellence and compassion in their practice so they can be a positive influence in the pharmacy profession. Members are offered resources and networking opportunities through events such as conferences, seminars, and mission trips to support its members in integrating their faith into their professional lives. Every year during spring break, CPFI partners with other interprofessional organizations to take part in mission trips across the U.S. These mission trips typically involve medical outreach, community service, and spiritual enrichment activities.
Lastly, we have APHA, or the American Pharmacists Association Academy of Student Pharmacists. So the mission of APHA ASP is to be the collective voice of student pharmacists, to provide opportunities for professional growth, to improve patient care, and to envision and advance the future of pharmacy. So kind of how I noted all the orgs previously have focused on a special niche within pharmacy, APHA really applies to all things pharmacy. So I always tell people that APHA is the best org to join. It comes with numerous networking events, numerous service learning, scholarship, mentorship, leadership opportunities, because it really does serve all things pharmacy. So if you're in pharmacy school, check, you can be a member. If you want to be a pharmacist after this, check, you can still be a part of APHA. APHA also has just started a transitioning membership for P3 students who are going into their P4 year. So this is something I'm actually going to be starting with my class. So this membership comes at a reduced cost for both your P4 year and it includes your first year as a pharmacist. It also comes with the year subscription of the Pearls website. If you don't know what Pearls is, it's basically a website that was created by pharmacists. And it has everything from guidelines to treatment algorithms, kind of quick facts about certain medications and disease states. And I personally love it. I use it when I have been on my IPI hospital rotation more times than I count. And I know that I will be using it probably every day, if not at least once a week during my API rotations, because it's really a one-stop shop that has all the information that we need to be successful pharmacists. For us as an org at our school, for the last 3 years, we have put on an event called a mock OSCE, which, if you don't know, in pharmacy school, you do have to do things called OSCEs, which are essentially more hands-on learning and kind of simulation events that we have to do, where there'll be a practice patient, and it's just to really get us ready for what a pharmacist does in their daily life. We communicate with patients, we look over prescription management, but one of our teachers, Dr. George, always jokes with us, and I really didn't realize how much it was true until now I'm in my 3rd year. But pharmacy is really a communications degree also. Like, yes, you have to know what the drugs do, how they work, what side effects are. We have to know how to titrate the medication, when to not give it to them if their creatinine clearance is below a certain level, which are all things you'll learn, I promise. But what it really comes down to is like, how do you relay that to your patient? So OSCEs are what we do to try to help us get more comfortable with asking those questions to a patient and not sounding so robotic. So APHA puts on a mock OSCE event for the P1s, which essentially is kind of as it sounds. It's a practice event for the P1s who have not underwent their physical assessment OSCE. So we just try to help give them extra practice, build that extra confidence within themselves to just go in and not only rock the OSCE that they have coming up in a few weeks after we hold the event, but just to help them become better pharmacists overall. We also have some branches within APHA, TPA, which focuses on policy and everything pharmacy within the state of Texas, as well as TCPA, which is the Tarrant County Pharmacy Association. Some cool things that TCPA do is there's companies that either in Fort Worth normally or in the surrounding area, not just Tarrant County, but they will hold informational dinners that we're invited to. It's normally at no cost to us, and you get a free meal out of it, but you get to go and network with these individuals, see what their business is like. Some of them try to tell us about marketing new medications that maybe their company has just come out with, or providing information about a medication that is about to hit market. So you have a lot of experiences that you can get from these dinners. And like I said, it doesn't pertain to any special niche of pharmacy. So anybody who, whether this falls in what you love, or maybe it's something that you have no clue about, or is not really something you love in pharmacy, but maybe you're just interested in seeing what the drug is about, everyone is welcome at these events. But now I will turn it over to Miss Haley McKeefer, who is the GOAT of also APHA, TPA, TCPA, and all things legislation for Texas and for pharmacy. So take it away, Haley.
Hi, everyone. My name is Haley, and I'm a P4 student at the University of North Texas Health Science Center College of Pharmacy, and it is a real treat to be on the PharmD Diaries today. I currently serve as the chair of the Academy of Student Pharmacists, a subsection of our association that focuses purely on our student pharmacist members and offering opportunities for them to get involved in pharmacy advocacy. After graduation, I've accepted a Health Policy and Communications Fellowship with the National Pharmaceutical Council in partnership with the Rutgers Pharmaceutical Industry Fellowship Program. So I'm really passionate about all things pharmacy policy, you name it. I'm so grateful for this profession, and I'm excited to be graduating and crossing the stage and hopefully becoming a registered pharmacist in the next few months.
What sparked your interest in pharmacy advocacy and policy?
I think my interest with pharmacy advocacy and health policy started even before pharmacy school. So I was aware that there were restrictions on privileges or people that helped provide privileges to clinicians. And what I mean by that is we have regulatory boards like the State Board of Pharmacy, but we also have our legislators that can help define what each profession does. And so when I was looking at pharmacy, I was wondering, will this be a worthwhile degree to get? Like, I think my brain works for it. I love what the profession stands for, but will it be worth it? Will I be able to practice at the top of my license? And I remember stumbling across Texas Pharmacy Association pretty shortly after COVID-19 started. And like spring of 2020, and realizing all of the effort that they were doing to lobby on behalf of pharmacists and pharmacy technicians, really the whole profession, being able to help with that pandemic starting to hit the Texas area. And I just remember being so in awe of what they stood for and their advocacy and the influence that they were having on health policy at the time, that I knew my degree would be worth it at the end, that this was going to be okay because institutions like Texas Pharmacy Association existed. And so, really, once I got into pharmacy school, I knew I wanted to continue on that path of staying involved and growing those advocacy skills. And now that I'm at the end of pharmacy school, I'm really excited to be making a career out of pharmacy advocacy and learning more about how health policy and pharmaceutical policy influences our national landscape.
How has TPA played a role in pharmacy advocacy and policy development?
In my humble and probably biased opinion, because I love what TPA stands for, Texas Pharmacy Association is synonymous with pharmacy advocacy in the state of Texas. We are the preeminent organization that unifies, strengthens, and protects the profession of pharmacy in Texas. And it's our goal to advance the practice of pharmacy for our patients. Community pharmacists are the most accessible healthcare providers in the state of Texas. It's something that holds true nationwide, but it really hits home for our rural Texans and for our growing population here in this great state. TPA helps play a role in pharmacy advocacy by talking to our representatives, helping provide us as pharmacy personnel the tools and guidance that we need to reach out to our representatives. They also provide commentary to our State Board of Pharmacy on potential rulings. They testify to House and Senate committees and relay some of the data that they collect and analyze on behalf of our profession. So there is so much that they do, and I, for one, am grateful that an association like TPA exists so that I can practice the way that I have been trained to at the end of this degree.
Can you share any personal experiences or successes you've had in campaigning for recent developments or pharmacy-related issues?
I think one of the really cool things that TPA offers to student pharmacists is the ability to participate in our Pharmacy Day at the Capitol event. This is an event that commonly occurs prior to each legislative cycle. So last year in 2023, right before the 88th legislative session, we all got to gather up at the Capitol and talk to our representatives about the legislative priorities that Texas Pharmacy Association had prior to that legislative cycle. One of the issues that is really personal to me, but that I felt like I was most educated on as a student pharmacist, was the codifying of the PrEP Act, or the Public Readiness and Emergency Preparedness Act. This was something that came into play with the COVID-19 response. And one of the things that it did for at least our state was expand the ability to provide childhood immunizations. It also allowed for our pharmacy technicians to assist with the immunization effort after proper training. Historically, before 2020 and before the PrEP Act, Texas pharmacists were only able to vaccinate children 7 years and up. But with the PrEP Act, we were able to vaccinate 3 years and up. And again, the PrEP Act also allowed pharmacy technicians to also provide that service. Unfortunately, the PrEP Act will expire in December of 2024 after being extended multiple times. And one of our legislative priorities as TPA last year was to codify the PrEP Act so that we could continue to practice in the same manner that our communities were used to these last 3 years of the pandemic. It was something that was really special to me to speak to my representative located in the DFW area and let them know what I have done as a student pharmacist to help support their community and help protect their constituents. It was also really rewarding to see student pharmacists across the state talk to their own representatives and hopefully change the needle of how those representatives might vote on behalf of expanding these privileges. Even though the PrEP Act will expire December of this year, my hope is that we can still try to move the needle on this and restore those privileges next legislative cycle in 2025.
How can pharmacists or even pharmacy students get engaged in advocacy efforts at the local, state, and national levels?
That is a great question, and I'll echo again my experience with myself and the other Texas pharmacy programs at Pharmacy Day at the Capitol. There are always going to be big events like this, and I highly encourage any student to take part in it. Anytime that you see somebody who's putting on an advocacy event or even a chance to network with your local representatives, try to take it. But I also want to emphasize something else. You are an advocate every time you put on that white coat. So a lot of us will wear that white coat either on our jobs as pharmacy interns or when we're on rotation. And I want to simplify that advocacy can just be giving a patient exceptional counseling or helping that patient find an item in the over the counter aisle. Anytime you have a chance to relay the power of your knowledge and to help a patient receive excellent care, you are being an advocate. So then the next step is relay those stories to your representatives. This could be talking to your local congressperson, your local senator. If you want to get even spicier, you could go reach out to your federal representatives. And I think that's so cool. Let them know about the interventions you've made or the things that you're learning in school, the things that will be expected of you for your national boards. Let them know what all you're training to be and what all you could provide their patients and their constituents one day. And looping it back to what I said before, there are going to be amazing advocacy events that you can participate in, but there's also nothing stopping you from sending that letter, leaving a voicemail, writing an email, whatever it may be to leave that touch point with the people that help write the laws and our health policies. Now, I know I've talked a lot about what you can do as an individual, but I want to relay something that is emphasizing the idea that there is power in numbers. If you are not already, I highly recommend that you become a member of Texas Pharmacy Association and our national associations like APHA or ASHP. By taking part in these associations, you're helping support their efforts and their ability to say that we represent Texas pharmacy. But there's also a plethora of other benefits that you can get by being involved. For me, I would not know nearly as much as I do if it wasn't for the experiences offered to me by Texas Pharmacy Association. Between networking with pharmacists of all specialties and experiences, the continuing education that TPA provides, it's just a benefit that you can't get anywhere else. Even outside of your state and federal associations, get involved with whatever specialty organization that you want to get involved with. So, if you're really interested in oncology or pediatrics, get involved with those associations. They're going to have their unique take on what legislative priorities need to happen or get pushed through. And they are also going to be the experts that our legislators rely on if they have questions or proposed legislation that would benefit from hearing that expert voice within that specialty. So get involved. Don't be afraid to share your story with others, but join the associations and organizations that have the power and the resources to help you reach out to your representatives.
Are there any specific topics or issues that you believe will be prominent in the next 5 years?
I think there are a lot of things that will be influencing my practice after graduation. One of them being the technology that is coming out, something that excites me and frightens me, but I know it's just going to be a part of our world because that's where our patients are and we need to embrace it. Things like artificial intelligence or camera-based technologies. I think these are things that are going to continue being a part of our workflow and help bring healthcare issues to the forefront of the public's mind. Other things that I think will influence our profession as well as our day to day practice are things like drug transparency or value based reimbursement. As the drug information experts, I firmly believe that pharmacists are and will continue to be leaders in the conversation about drug transparency and our drug supply chain. I also think that after decades of research, pharmacists are going to continue to represent the positive role that we play in value based reimbursement and high quality care for our patients. There is so much data out there across so many practice sightings of the cost benefit that pharmacists bring to the table. And so it's something that I'm personally invested in investigating more, also relaying to the public what our power is as pharmacists. So I definitely think that issue will continue to be on the forefront as our government and private partners continue to analyze why healthcare is so expensive in the United States.
How do you see advocacy and policy impacting the pharmacy profession in the near future?
One of my favorite advocacy quotes is, "If you're not at the table, you're on the menu." And it's something that I hear and I believe in, and then something happens, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I believe it so much more because it's really true. These things are going to get developed no matter what. Like, there's going to be health policies that get pushed out there. And if we as pharmacists or student pharmacists don't have a seat at that table and our voice is not heard in helping shape those policies, then we're going to get left out. And it's not necessarily an intentional thing. It's just no one's going to get what our profession does better than us. So, this is why advocacy is so important. We bring an expert voice to the table, and I promise you, our representatives want to hear what that voice is. They want to hear from an expert the best way to take care of their constituents, and for us, the best way to take care of our patients. As a student, I fully understand and feel that it's hard sometimes to realize that we have a voice. I get so clammed up sometimes thinking that I'm not educated enough or I'm not licensed, I can't make a statement per se, but then I have to remind myself that my voice does still matter. And it's okay that I'm still learning and it's okay that I'm still training myself. And I want to relay that same sentiment to other students or anybody else listening, that in a few short years, we are all going to be experts and we're all going to be colleagues. And it's okay to relay the experiences that you've been gaining as a student. I already previously mentioned, but I want to call attention again. You are in this degree and you have worked very hard for all the things that this degree requires of you. And for me personally, I want to know that what I will be practicing will be worth it at the end of the day. And I want to know that everything that I learned in my degree, either how to do or the information that I gained, can be relayed to the patients I want to practice for. And so that's why advocacy, especially from the student pharmacist voice, is important. To relay, this is what I've learned, this is how I can help, what needs to happen so that I'm allowed to do these things.
Do you have any final thoughts you would like to share with our audience?
I think this is a very exciting time in our profession. I know I mentioned earlier that unfortunately in Texas, we were not able to expand immunization privileges for our pharmacy technicians or for our pediatric population. But I do want to emphasize just how big of a deal it was that we got as far as we did. This last legislative cycle had a success rate of 38%. That's 38% of bills that were proposed that actually made it to the governor's desk. It hurts that that bill ultimately didn't pass, but I want to emphasize just how cool it is that we got it to the very last moment. And I am completely confident that we're going to be able to make it happen in the next legislative cycle. Even outside of the issue of expanded immunization privileges, there are so many other prominent issues that are impacting our profession right now. And we're going to need all the help that we can get to relay our stories and what we do for our patients to our representatives. I have never been more proud to be a future pharmacist than I am today. And I am so excited to see where our profession is going to go in the next few years. And I hope you join me that we are going to have a seat at that table. I'll pull a chair out for you. And I hope that you're able to join me either in Texas Pharmacy Association or in any other pharmacy organization that's out there to benefit our patients and to make sure our profession exists at the highest level it possibly can. And for any of the pre-pharmacy students listening to this podcast, I hope that my story and my words have influenced you the same way that I was influenced when I was first looking at Texas Pharmacy Association. I hope you feel excited and secure in your choice to pursue pharmacy in this great state. And I hope to see you as my future colleague in years to come. But thank you so much for having me on to speak about pharmacy advocacy and my beloved organizations.
Thank you so much, Haley. Before we go, I briefly wanted to mention a few other orgs that are not necessarily pharmacy organizations, but I know some of our students have been heavily involved in them. Orgs like DREAM, or the Disability Rights, Education, and Activism in Medicine, AMIG, or the Addiction Medicine Interest Group, NAMA, or the National Arab American Medical Association, PRIDE at UNT-HSC, SIMS, or the Student Initiative in Medical Simulation, MHM, or Mental Health Matters, and we also have various leadership organizations, academic honor societies, and professional pharmacy fraternities. We'll touch more on some of these for parts 2 and 3 of our Pharmacy Student Organization series, so stay tuned for that. And that's a wrap for today's episode. A big thank you to P4 student Haley McKeefer for sitting down with me and shedding a light on pharmacy advocacy and policy. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. If you enjoyed our journey through the pharmacy student experience, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your support means the world to us. If you have any questions, topics you'd like us to cover, or if you want to share your own PharmD story, feel free to reach out via email at diariespharmd@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook at PharmD Diaries Podcast. Remember, you are not alone on this journey, so take care, study hard, and keep chasing your pharmacy dreams.
Bye.